My name is Sarah Kim, and today I'm going to present my FOA about subversive advertisement. So I chose this advertisement, which was created by UK-based campaign group called Brandalism, and they have created hundreds of unauthorized fake advertisements in Paris to promote the climate talk called COP21. It was aimed to highlight the links between advertising, consumerism, fossil fuel dependency, and climate change, and it was created to challenge the role of advertising for it being misused by large corporations, as advertisements are often misused to promote unsustainable practices. And to briefly talk about contextual background, globalization of society and the growth of multinational corporations and industrialization has been major cause of climate change. There has been increasing concern about consequences of climate change and ever-rising global emission rates. So the COP21, which is a UN climate talk, was held at 2015 in Paris, and it was a significant event that involved numerous international organizations and countries. So the purpose of this advertisement was to raise awareness of big corporations' use of greenwashing strategies to cover up their unsustainable and destructive practices. As Air France is an airline company, Air France's sponsorship of Climate Talk is ironical because Air France is sponsoring the Climate Talk while it is also the major cause of global emission. And furthermore, the dark background color of the advertisement induces a negative mood, which reveals the consequences of climate change and air pollution. To analyze the narrative of the advertisement, it mentions about economic growth, and it explicitly mentions about economic growth to show that people hold monetary value over the ecological value, and it puts blame on industrialization and urbanization of the society as more factories contribute to more pollution. And the use of action verb here, bribing, creates imagery of the company bribing politicians to allow the company to entitle to less regulations. And this dialogue-like format, just keep it to yourself, puts blame on the audience for using the airline service. So it's accusing customers that they are also the part of the climate change. And furthermore, we can identify dichotomies between solution and problem by looking at that phrase called part of the problem, because Air France is stating that their solution is sponsoring the climate change because but the problem is bolded here because problem is the real message that the corporations, showing that the corporations are problematic for its unsustainable practices. And here we can also identify the use of rhetorical device called direct address, because this phrase is written right below the company logo, and it shows the correlation of the company and the problem that the company is causing, and this is a satire mocking Air France. And to talk about the visual representation of the advertisement, the poster of the cabin crew indicates the secret that she is hiding under her sophisticated look, and her sophisticated image symbolizes the large company, which is Air France, and the poster of the cabin crew implies the secret that the company is hiding about the truth behind the sponsorship. And furthermore, her sharp facial features such as big eyes, pointed nose, high cheekbones, and black hair is a resemblance to the past, and it is an allusion to simple past ideology that money is solution to all problems. And here we can see that Brandalism's purpose, which is to reveal the company's intention to cover their irresponsible practices. And to connect back to the purpose, the advertisement seems like the artist is only criticizing the corporation, but really is blaming on globalization, public, and politicians, because it directly refers to politicians for their national interest and economic prosper, and it directly refers to yourself, which is customers who use the airline services, and addresses the customers to remain silent because they're also contributing to the cause of the problem. And the audience, to talk about the audience, this advertisement uses the collective we to engage audience of different groups in a society and to relate and engage the audience. The target audience for this advertisement are environmentalists who are concerned with climate change, companies that fear losing established brand recognition and brand reputation due to satirical advertisements that are exposed to the public, and politicians that support large corporations on their sustainable practices for economic benefits for the country. And here you can see the scale and proportion of the text. So the big, bolded, and capitalized letters and the use of diction, climate change addresses environmentalists who are concerned with climate change, and this question mark here reveals the unsureness, and it allows the audience to think about corporations' intention when they've announced the public of their sponsorship of the climate talk. And this medium-sized bolded and capitalized letter reads, "Of course not," which is a strong word choice that reveals the artist's determination to deliver the message. And it also emphasizes the fact that Air France is not interested in the consequences of climate change, but only the profits that they make. And this small descriptive text at the bottom is a narrative from the airline company outlining the real reason for sponsoring the climate talk, and it is mocking Air France for prioritizing brand reputation, which would adversely harm their brand reputation. And the context of this advertisement is that the implicit claim driven from the advertisement is that the vandalism is mocking Air France for sponsoring the climate talk to cover up their unsustainable practices. And the general context is that the advertisement is created to inform the public about large corporations' misuse of advertisement as coverage of their inconsiderate and socially irresponsible practices. The text seen here criticizes the company's marketing strategy, which leads to customers to blindly accept the intended objective of the company, which is to enhance its brand reputation and to portray themselves as environmentalists. Here we can see the ethical consideration of greenwashing marketing strategy, as it uses global issue of climate change to attract people's attention as more people are environmentally conscious than ever before. And the uses of people's emotions for people's want to uphold their own dignity and values for environment. And it uses strategic attitude as a solution to the problem of climate change by sponsoring the climate talk, while the major and not to make improvements to the environment, but to secrete the problem that they are causing to the environment. To relate to the contextual background, COP21 is an official event led by the United Nations, but Brandalism is using this official event led by UN to involve all people in global arena, regardless of gender, ethnicity, or religion, for them all to be informed of advertisement misusage and to enhance the credibility of the advertisement. And it induces people to become introspective about their behavior. And in conclusion, the advertisement is accusing Air France that the sponsorship was a hypocrisy with the ultimate goal to manipulate the portrayal of brand image as a socially responsible corporation. And the fact that Brandalism is a comparatively small group of individuals and that they were able to attract people's attention to mock a figure in higher social hierarchy, Brandalism has met the purpose of creating this satirical advertisement. Thank you.